Hi everyone, I'm Joanne and welcome to Chop Chat Cook. Today I've got Kim in the kitchen.
Hi Jo.
Welcome.
Looking forward to it.
Oh,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so excited to see you here. And Kim and I are going to be talking about the Vegemite sandwich generation. Now, this is sort of something that I just came up with myself. By myself.
I know, I love it. I love the concept of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so the idea is that it's generations of primarily women who are stuck. They're sort of placed in a position where they're caring for children and they're caring for their aged parents as well. And sort of, I've got experience with this and why I called it the Vegemite sandwich generation is that because really we don't have very much time for ourselves.
That's right.
All we've got time to is grab a Vegemite sandwich and eat it on the run.
And I think too, I remember being a child of having Vegemite sandwich and now thinking about elderly parents, younger children, and also self-care. What about me? What about my family? You know, and time with my partner. So
yeah, that's right. It becomes this really big juggle, doesn't it?
It does. It does. So, and those sort of things are so important. And I think too, as women, we try to be there for everyone else and wanting to do everything that's right and that what everyone likes, but remembering, you know, about us, because if we give too much of ourselves away, what have we got to, you know, to give others?
That's right, and we sort of need a little bit more than a Vegemite sandwich, don't we?
We do.
And
as much as we love Vegemite sandwiches, Jo, yes, we do.
That's right,
yes.
and as much as they were a staple of our school lunches, like growing up, because in the heat of a Queensland summer, Vegemite was really the only thing that made it through the day, wasn't it?
That's true. So, yeah.
Great. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have a cup of tea.
Nice.
And we're going to have just a chat a little bit more about this.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to have black tea?
A dash of white, strong.
A dash of white, strong.
Yes, and don't forget I want it in my little teacup.
Your teacup, yes,
Teacup,
of course.
yes, thank you.
So we've got just a dash of milk you said, didn't you?
That's right.
Okay,
I like it strong.
And I'll have a little bit too.
Oh, that's so pretty.
That is pretty, isn't it? That one was a wedding present.
Oh, okay. So where did mine come from?
That one came from Mum, actually.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Roses.
I know, it's pretty, isn't it?
Yes.
So that one is yours. It's probably ready to go.
Okay, tough. Nice and strong. I always feel, you know, a cup of tea is so much nicer in a teacup.
It is, isn't it? I know. And take on the world with a cup of tea, hey?
That's right. Oh, I've got a little tea leaf in mine too.
I think that's lucky. All right, so back to our conversation. So I think it's like women who are probably in their 30s, and I think it sort of stretches right up until their 70s. Because, you know, when they got all those responsibilities of you know, raising children, running a household as well, you know,
holding
primarily.
down a job.
Yeah, that's right, working as well. And then, you know, like having to think about aged parents as well. And you know, for some people, you know, taking care of them as well.
I mean, that's right. And I think too, looking at it emotionally, you know, seeing your parents age, you know, is an impact on you too. That, you know, you are now caring for your parents as well as your little ones. So it's such a big responsibility and the emotional roller coaster of it all.
It is, and it's just such a busy time, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Yep. Yeah, sure is. Yeah.
Have a sip and.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're parenting, like I said, the little ones, and then, you know, your mum and dad. And often too, it can be your aunties and uncles
that's right,
also.
extended sort of relatives and families, isn't it? And what about at the community centre where you work? Do you sort of see a lot of that?
We do. We often see too that with the grandparents that coming in, you know, they're looking for something, you know, for themselves, and they feel too quite guilty that, you know, the burden that they're putting onto the family unit. So they may come in for a couple of hours, and just to, you know, whether it do a therapeutic activity or some cards, and then also we may have then their daughter coming in, like for counselling or coming out.
okay.
Yeah, coming out and doing playgroup in the morning and then with the children and then bringing, their mums to something in the afternoon.
Yeah, and then the good thing with your community centre is you've got the childcare centre, haven't you?
That's right. We're really fortunate. So if anyone's wanting to do anything at the centre, we've got a little occasional childcare attached. So it's a really warm and home-like place, and it's that mixed age group. So often we have brothers and sisters and siblings together. So that can be an outlet, for the mum.
Yeah, no, that's great, isn't it?
Definitely. So.
And do you have a seniors program as well? Like, you have that, don't you?
We do. And and often what we like to do with the seniors group is sort of hearing, what they want to do. There's something out there in the community that they're struggling with, and one that we're coming across is with, the pace of ITs, moving along really fast.
Yes, yeah, it's really fast.
So, and like in particular with their banking, they may prefer the old way of, writing out a cheque or, rocking up to the bank and so there's so many changes for them, or having to pay a bill online so there's a lot of fear for them around that. So so we try to make it that it's everyone may be at all different paces, learning different things, and some it may be just to connect up with their family on Facebook because they want to see pictures because they're going on their trip overseas. And I think the biggest thing that is presenting is just keeping up with the IT and what is changing, and with everything being online around their confidentiality and they sort of worry, and we're always doing talks about scams.
Oh no, there's so many around at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, so and some of them will think they're authentic because it's like, oh, they know my name, and someone must have told them because they knew who I was and my address, and it's like, no, don't go there, don't go there. Yeah,
there's quite a few different ones around at the moment.
Yes,
that I've heard about.
Yeah, and probably too another big thing is loneliness. Yeah, is that whether it be that they're at home alone during the day, feeling their self-worth now. My life is going to medical appointments. Yeah. So, and it's funny, maybe their spouse has died. So we'll do cooking for one, and because often with some of our seniors, they used to cooking big family meals, and now it's just themselves, and then it will be, oh look, I couldn't be bothered. I'm just going to do some sketty on toast or fry an egg, and so that's a session that we do is this cooking for one.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and also cooking on a budget, and it doesn't have to be the boring old foods. So having bringing in the herbs and the spices and different cultural foods, and just making it a bit different.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I think also the other part with with that Vegemite sandwich generation, and maybe just in summary for is sort of taking care of yourself as well, because you're sort of taking your parents to medical appointments as well, aren't you? And you've got children who you're sort of looking after.
Yes.
So maybe like a little bit of self-care as well, and we've been talking about that as well, as like having balance in your life and self-care and
that's right,
relaxation techniques.
Yeah. So, and what we instill within that is like, as much as we love going to massages or the day spa, it doesn't have to be expensive things. So, and everyone has different needs and wants. So it may be going out and watering the garden. Or one lady said that she loves looking at the junk mail and just sort of dreams about, what she can get at the next Target sale. Or
funny,
so she makes
it?
a cup of tea and so for other people it may be doing crosswords or just finding what it is, or as we know, the value of going for walks and some form of exercise. But it's just finding something that you find helps you to unwind, and some of it it can be cooking.
Well,
nothing
thanks.
grand.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you, Kim, for.
No, thank you. I'll get back and have some more of my cup of tea. Thank you.
And thanks, everyone. See you next time.
Thanks, Jo.
Thanks. No, that was good, wasn't it? That was interesting.